Shloka number 10. Ahankar laye supto bhavetehapi chetana ahankara vikasardha swapna sarvatu jagara. So now these are the three states. We have the waking, the dreaming, and the deep sleep state. In the waking state, the ego is fully illumined. Yeah, why? Because remember, the light of witness is shining on this ego. Yeah, ego is awake, and ego transmits this to the body, to the sensory system, and to the body. So the whole system feels alive. Yeah, that full system feeling alive is called the waking state. How did waking state come about? What is the cause here and what is the effect? The witness is first. It gives light to the intellect or to the entire mind complex, the subtle body. That gives light to the physical body. When this light is complete, that is called the waking state. In the waking state, the ego is fully functional. I is fully functional. Yes, you feel I till the tips of your fingers and till the tips of your toes. Fully functional I. It's a false I, you know that, right? It's just that which is, that energy which is making me feel conscious is making me feel conscious fully in the mind and in the body. That is the meaning of fully functional I. That is called the waking state. What happens in the dreaming state? Yeah. The mind has become very tired of being fully illuminated and starts shutting down, gets tired. So that fully bright light has now started dimming. Why? Because the reflecting surface has started dimming. The witness has not dimmed. Yes, witness is fully shining behind. The reflecting surface has lost its capacity for some time. It's tired. Okay? Now it is tired, it has started dimming. So, in the waking state, its light was going all the way to the tips of the fingers and tips of toes. Yes, throughout the body. Now, the domain range has reduced of that light. So, the body falls asleep. But in the dreaming state, the light is not fully gone, no? The mind is still illumined. So this light is not fully shining in the dreams state, the dreaming state, because the mind's capacity is a little blurry, yeah, which reflects in the mirror. So in the waking state, you see the mirror nice and clear. Yes. What happens to the mirror in the dream state? It's a little blurry, hazy, clouded, yeah, not clear. The light is not going all the way to the body. It is only in the mind in the dream state. So, the ego is now partially awake. Even in the dream state, you feel, I am running away from the tiger. And I start sweating. And I have fear. Correct? So, I is there, but it's a partially awake I. It's not fully conscious I. Yes? You don't know who is this I. Suddenly you feel you are the tiger. Suddenly you feel you are the one running away from the tiger. It's all hazy. It's all choppy. Waking state, ego is fully functional. Yes. Dreaming state, the light has reduced. Yes. The function has become semi-conscious. That is the dreaming state. Yes. And what happens in the deep sleep state? Do you have the sense of I? There is no I. There is no ego. Yes? Deep sleep state is the state that is devoid of I, devoid of ego. Yes? So what happens to this mirror? It's dark. That's all you see, darkness in deep sleep state. Very clear? So what this sutra is saying, when the ego is in the deep sleep state, where it is completely absorbed in the deep sleep state, there is no consciousness of body, no consciousness of mind. When it is in the dreaming state, there is semi-consciousness. When it is in the waking state, there is complete consciousness of body, mind. Full consciousness, semi-consciousness, no consciousness of body, mind. Very clear? Whenever you are in deep sleep, there is no I, and you do not remember what happened. You don't know how long you were in deep sleep. You may still be able to come out and say, I dreamt this. But you can never describe your deep sleep state. You don't have memory of that time. You switch off. Yes. But what has switched off? Only the ego, the mind, and the body has switched off. The pure consciousness is continuously there in the three states. In the waking state, it is lighting up the objects, whether they are mental objects or physical objects. Because there is movement of these objects, I think that there is something happening. It is live. I'm awake. Yes? In my dream state. I still have a little bit of I exist. There is an I. But in the deep sleep state, there is no mind object. There is no physical object. The light of consciousness, the witness is there. He's witnessing the absence of objects. Because there is no movement, he feels there is nothing there. Yeah. Only because of motion, we have the sense of time. What is time? Time is only the distance between one thought object and the second thought object. And because of movement in the thought objects, there is the illusion of time. When there is no movement of thought object, there is no time. That is why in deep sleep state, you have no sense of time. Yeah. Now the same analogy can be taken ahead to space. What is space? Distance between two objects. Even in a dream state, there is distance between two objects. When these objects are only not there, there is no distance in the deep sleep state. That is why there is no space in deep sleep state. In deep sleep state, you go beyond time and space, both. Waking, dreaming, and deep sleep are the condition of the mind and not of the pure consciousness. This is super clear till now? Yes? And the condition of the mind depends on the ego. Yes? Totally depends on the ego, the presence or absence of ego. In the waking state, the ego is up and bright, fully functional. In the dream state, he is semi-functional, half there, half not there. And in the deep sleep state, the ego is totally wiped out. Yes? Clear? Can I move ahead to the next verse? Verse 11. Antakarana cha chiti chayakyam agata vasana kalpayet swapne udakshay vishayan bahihi. In the dreaming state, what happens? The mind identifies with the reflection of consciousness. It thinks it is conscious and alive and starts imagining. It projects thoughts. These are impressions. These impressions are further projected into the waking state. You see this? This is the phenomena which the knower is doing. It has begun in the knower. The knower shown its energy onto the mind. The mind shown its energy onto the physical world. The last line of the shloka is this energy that is shining outside does not just stop at the physical body. It is projected out into this world as objects. There are only my projections in this waking state. This projection happens into this world through the power of the Brahman. So I, the knower, I, the Brahman consciousness, out of my own nature reflect my own energy out to the subtle body, the mind, and I become one with this subtle body, and I only project that light onto the physical body. In the dreaming and waking state, I start projecting images and also objects in this world. Images are in the dream state and objects are in the waking state. Now do you understand why all scriptures and saints say that there is no difference between the waking state and the dream state? Because it is just projection. Both of them are projection. In the dream state is a projection of images. In the waking state, right now you think it is projection of objects. So we'll go with that assumption. Yeah? It will change. Yeah? One other word will get added later. Right now it is projection of objects for you. Yes. Yeah. So we move ahead. Manoham kriti upadanam lingam ekam jadatmakam avasthatrayam anveti jayate mriyate tatha. This mind, this ego, the subtle body, it goes through these three states. These three states are not different from birth and death. Birth is akin to waking state. Yeah? And death is akin to deep sleep state. The Brahman consciousness is like the energy which is all pervading, or like space. In this Brahman consciousness, there is the birth of the subtle body. In the subtle body, there is the birth of the physical body. Normally, how you think I am matter, This body, physical body, is matter. Inside this physical body is the subtle body or the mind. And inside the mind is consciousness. This is the normal way that people think. Because of the reflected consciousness, I feel I am body and mind. That is what makes my assumption very firm that, oh, I feel that I am this body. So inside the body is the mind, and inside the mind is the consciousness, one little dot somewhere. And then I try to sit in meditation and I'm looking for that red dot or blue dot. All assumption. You've started with the wrong assumption. You've started it only completely going the wrong way. Yeah? Advaita says, see your experience, not your assumption. These are two different things. Assumption comes from conditioning. Conditioning that could have come from what my parents taught me, what the world taught me, what I learned from other people. Conditioning is from outside. Yes? Experience is what I truly experience. Yeah? So if you truly look at your own experience, there is the deep sleep state where you are purely at zero. There is no I, nothingness, no thingness. There is no I. When you rise from this deep sleep state, first what happens? When you come from the deep sleep state on your way to the dreaming state, first thing, what is it that happens? The I arises. I thought. Even it could be a simple thing like I'm sleeping. I am lying on the bed, or I'm on the couch, wherever, whatever. I thought comes up first. Yes? So in nothing, this is my pure experience. Every night I experience this. In pure zero-ness, in pure nothingness, in pure shunyata, the mind arises. I thought arises. That I thought brings on other thoughts, images, ideas, and the dream state begins. So, first there is zero-ness or silence or shunyata. In that, the mind is born. Every night this happens. And then in that, I wake up and I experience the objects of the world. First, I experience the ceiling, then the walls, and I experience the bed. I experience my room and the rest of the world. Every night, the truth is revealed to me. But I yet want to believe that my waking state is the bigger state, in which there is the mind, which is the dream state, and in which there is the consciousness, or that little feeling of being alive or conscious, which is the deep sleep state. It is exactly the reverse. Are you seeing this? Actually, all spirituality is doing is making you unlearn all the wrong things that you've learned all your life. Yeah? Just recognize what is my pure experience. Yes? And every night, what happens? I shut down from this waking state. And then I go into the dreaming state. Again, I shut down from the dreaming state and I go into the pure, unlimited state. Are you seeing this? See your own experience. Your waking experience is very limited. I'm talking about pure experience. You're understanding experience, anubhav in Hindi. जो मैं अभी अनुभव कर रही हूँ. That which I'm experiencing right now. Yeah? What am I experiencing right now? I cannot experience more than where my eyes can go right now. I cannot experience sound beyond a particular range. I cannot experience taste beyond a particular range. I cannot smell smells beyond a particular range. You're getting it? There is a limitation to the ability of the mind. The five senses have its own limitation. So obviously thought is limited to these five senses. Is this clear? Yeah? So in the waking state, I am limited. Very clearly I am limited. In the dream state, I can go anywhere. Yeah? Physically I am in Germany, but I could be in US. I could be dreaming I am in Chicago. Yes? I'm walking on the streets of Chicago, enjoying myself in lockdown, and there's nobody else. All of Chicago is mine. Yay! I get to enjoy it completely. Yes? I can be anywhere in the dream state. So isn't your dream state experience a little bigger than your waking state? Very, very clear? Yeah. And what happens in the deep sleep state? It is infinite. Infinite. Limitless. There is no time and there is no space. There are no objects. Yet we want to believe that which is limited is our bigger state. Our bigger state is the deep sleep state. We are walking around in deep sleep. We just don't know that. In the deep sleep state, in the nothingness of deep sleep state, in that infiniteness of the deep sleep state, there is no time, there is no space. There is nothing. It is infinite. In that, the mind comes up, the I thought comes up. Yes? The mind comes up in that infinity. Yes? So mind objects have come up. You understand what is mind objects, no? Thoughts, feelings, perceptions and sensations. These are mind objects. Mind objects come up in the dream state. And then inside the dream state, the physical state comes up. The world of so-called real objects, the physical objects. So which state is bigger really? A deep sleep state is bigger. Inside that is the dream state, and inside the dream state is the physical state. This physical state, I play for a while, whatever, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours, and then finally get tired here. I get very tired. I retrace my steps back to the dream state. I play for a while here also with the images of the waking state. And then I get really bored and I rest completely. That is pure consciousness. That is who I am. I touch my core every night. Every night I meet myself. I go on a date with myself. Again I forget myself when I come out. Every night this repeats. Every night reveals the truth to you. Who are you? Yeah. The same thing applies to death. Death is nothing but the deep sleep state where you go into pure consciousness. Pure consciousness. Yes. Then in that pure consciousness, first the subtle body is born. Subtle body is nothing but mind, intellect, memory and ego. And that gives birth to the physical body. The subtle body comes into the womb of the mother. And then the physical body is born. This physical body then lives its life till its karmas end. Karmas are exhausted, the end. Then what happens? The physical body drops. The subtle body has collected vasanas, no? Can it end? Yeah. And the subtle body goes through lifetime after lifetime after lifetime playing this game. It goes back into the casino of the world and doubles its karmas and comes back. And the karma back goes on increasing, goes on increasing, goes on increasing. He just doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it. He's called a bhavra. Kabir's poetry, huh? Till this subtle body keeps multiplying these karmas, no? He's called a bhavra. Bhavra is a bee. Yeah. So, bhavra bilan baag mein bahu fulan ki aas. The bee keeps going from one flower to the other flower to the other flower in the garden. He has a lot of lust. He wants more, he wants more, he wants more, he wants more. Hans chala apne ghar, tyaj baadi ki aas. The day he recognizes, oh, I'm not the subtle body, I am the knower. I am this Brahman consciousness. He transforms from a bee to a hans. A hans is a white swan. Yeah. He transforms into a swan and he goes home. Yeah. There is no more coming back for him. That is when the subtle body will die. Do you get it? Every spiritual text is helping you really to kill your subtle body. Is helping you to die. Is making you understand that that is home. That is the only place that you will be able to call home. As long as you come to this casino and play, there is suffering involved. There is tax to be paid. Yeah. When the craving dies, you automatically will come to an Advaita Vedanta class and say, okay, I'm done. Okay? No more of this world. I'm really done. Yeah. And when you are really done, that is when you get enlightened. Because you are the knower. There is no other God up there, man up there who's going to grant you your enlightenment. Your enlightenment is in your hands. It is in your hands. If you want it, it can happen this moment. Yes. This is the story of our life and death and life and death. And it continues till the subtle body wakes up. And what is the subtle body? Tell me. Mind, intellect, memory, and the ego. The subtle body decides, this is it, boss. This is it. I've had enough. I can't do more than this. I just can't do more than this. I don't want more than this. It is all dukkha. When this becomes your realization, when this becomes your realization that even in sukha there is dukkha, then you have really seen it. What is sukha? Pleasure. Even in the most pleasant thing, your pleasant spouse, your pleasant child, your pleasant money, in your everything, whatever career, job, name, fame. In that pleasantness, when you can see this is nothing else but dukkha, then only will you get bored of it. Then only will you want to leave it. Most people come onto the spiritual path because they want to do away with the unpleasant and keep the pleasant. Yeah, but suddenly they get this knowledge. Oh, It's about leaving the pleasant also. And it takes a long time to let go of the pleasant, because who's holding on to the pleasant? The ego, the I sense. Until the time you recognize that you are the knower of the ego and not the ego, this problem cannot be solved. Do you understand the problem? The problem is that I crave for the pleasant and I want to push away the unpleasant. Yes, that's why I don't see the truth that everything is dukkha. Yes. And what is the solution? The solution is when you recognize that it is the ego that is holding on to this, wanting pleasant and pushing away the unpleasant. And I have identified with the ego. I am not this ego. There's just tadatma happening here. I am the witness of this ego. I am the witness of pleasant. I am the witness of unpleasant. I am not experiencing it. It is not happening to me. That day, karta also drops and bhokta also drops. What is karta? Doer. And what is bhokta? The experiencer. Yeah? I feel I am the experiencer. I am the doer because I have got into the skin of the ego and I think I am the ego. To recognize, no, I am the knower of this dukkha, this sadness, this unhappiness. I am the knower of this sukha, this pleasantness. And that changes the whole dynamic. Completely, it changes everything. Oh, I am the knower. I am not suffering. Then you have become free. Who is becoming free? Is the ego becoming free? No, the ego is there. Who is becoming free? The knower has become free of the ego. Do you get it? The knower has become free of the ego. Then you have started on the last leg of the journey back home. Very clear? Yes. That is what is explained. It is the subtle body that lives and it is the subtle body that dies.